Thank you for tuning in to the NSUSpartans.com weekly football coaches show with Pete Adrian. And this week we look back on the team's victory over Savannah State last Saturday and look forward to this coming week's matchup with Morgan State. And now we bring in NSU football coach Pete Adrian. And Coach, first off, congratulations on the victory over Savannah State last week. Your 8th victory of the season and 6th in MEAC play, which of course ties the 2017 for the most the Spartans have had in their Division I era. And I know going into the game, obviously Savannah State had struggled this season to date, but I know you'd said a lot of times those teams can be the most dangerous ones because they're playing with nothing to lose, but your team got off to a quick start and things kind of snowballed in your favor. I know you were kind of happy being able to get off to a quick early start there.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, we kicked off to them and they fumbled the kickoff and we got it and set up a quick score for us, and then we stopped them again defensively, and the offense hit a big play. I think it was when we ran the reverse for 85 yards and got down there, and the next thing you know, it was 21-0 with about 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. So it kind of took any doubt away from them if they thought they had some upset things, that it was going to be an uphill battle against that. And kids played very well, both sides of the football. Special teams were really solid again, and we knew what it was defensively, offensively. We talked all week to our kids about being a trap game, got to be ready to go. And like we've said many times, we have a veteran club. They knew what they had to do, and they did it.
As you mentioned, the 21-0 start there early. How big was that for your offense, coming off a couple games where they struggled a little bit? Obviously, some injuries and some bad weather had something to do with that, but seeing them get off to that early start and really fire on all cylinders, that had to really make you pleased as a coach to see that.
Well, yeah, and it makes the kids feel good. I mean, everybody wants to perform well and have results, and kids have performed well in the last couple of weeks, but the results are not what you want. And we weren't dropping passes. I don't think Wally got close to being sacked and things of that nature. So things went really very well. I mean, you couldn't have written a better script for us of what happened down there over the weekend.
And your defense, solid as usual, just 45 yards of total offense. Is that anything that you could have possibly imagined seeing a number that low?
No, not really. We didn't think about that. I mean, I didn't think they could put up big numbers on us, but that part was, kind of, you just can't plan on that. Of course, a lot of that has to do with, how much is your offense controlling the ball and things of that nature, and getting off the field. I think they were 0 for 12 on 3rd down, so you're getting off the field and they got to punt 12 times. That makes a big deal.
Talk a little bit, if you could, about sort of the evolution, too, of your offense. Obviously, people know about the big names like Chris Wally and Xavier Boyce, but this game we saw Derek Demps really emerge. He had his first career 100-yard game and caught 2 long touchdown passes from Chris Wally.
Well, there's a lot of good players over there, and Demps has been a threat. Had some nice catches against West Virginia. He's had some nice catches throughout the season. Calvin Lewis the same way, and Johnson took that reverse, his first reverse we run all year, and he went 85 yards. There was nobody even over there with it like that. So, the kids are playing well. The offensive line, time and time again, just keeps going in there and fighting and getting it done. And even though we're kind of thin right there, Briscoe came in at running back and had some nice carries for us, caught a nice pass out of the backfield. So, again, it's a team effort, but that's what we preach the whole time. Nico came in at quarterback and did a nice job at quarterback and had some nice plays, threw a couple nice balls. And so, again, from a coaching standpoint, you're very happy to see that.
How big was it, too, as the second half progressed? Are you able to get in a lot of players, get some rest for some of your starters going into this big ball game this week against Morgan State?
Well, that was huge for us. I mean, and not only does it give them some rest, but you really get those other kids some quality playing time, and the chance for them to play a quarter and a half is a big thing. Get them in the flow a little bit, gives you a little more read, and it does definitely take the wear and tear off your starting guys.
And again, your team reaped some rewards of that, number 22 in the polls this week, which is a high watermark for the program. And Chris Wally got honored by the Sports Network as the National Offensive Player of the Week, and certainly has set himself up nicely, perhaps for some honors down the road in the MEAC this week as well. So honors continue to come in for your team and players, individual players as well.
Well, the biggest thing is the team, and the guys know that. The guys handle it real well. If you keep winning, all the other stuff takes care of itself, whether it's the ratings, whether kids make all conference, the whole 9 yards goes with that. And then, again, we've been focused on one game at a time. Let's just go out and play it. We're doing the same thing here for Morgan State.
Well, turning the page from Savannah State onto the big showdown this week against Morgan State, your team again in first place. A win this week would obviously cement your first outright championship here at Norfolk State and put you in the MEAC playoffs. Looking at this Morgan State team, obviously a team that also controlled its own destiny in the MEAC until losing to Bethune-Cookman last week. Still a very dangerous Morgan State team. What do you expect out of the Bears this coming Saturday in Baltimore?
Well, first of all, it's their last home game for their seniors. It'll be a very emotional football game for them. If they beat us, then they win a piece of the crown. with it. So, you know, they're also playing for the MEAC championship, even though it'll be co-champions, but they're playing for that. The history of our games with Morgan has always gone down to the fourth quarter, so I don't expect this to be much different. You know, it's always been a slugfest. It's always been back and forth, and you know, Don does a great job with his program. They're very competitive. They play everybody tough, and he's won a lot of football games. So we know we're going to have to go give it our best shot one more time.
Obviously, you know, your kids have been great this year about playing one game at a time, but obviously they know what's at stake here. What will be your message to the team this week as they prepare for this ball game?
Well, you know, it's really simple. You know, it's the next opponent. If you want to play anymore, you got to win this week. It's, you know, you don't have to be rocket science to figure that out. And the kids are focused like that, and they're ready to go. And again, you know, every game's different. You got to go play it. Hopefully you don't put the ball on the ground or get a lot of penalties or miss tackles or blown coverages, and you just never know if stuff like that will pop up. And you hope it doesn't. Every coach hopes that doesn't happen. But hey, that's why you play the game. If you just looked on paper and say who's going to win the ball game, you could say, well, this team should always win, but that doesn't happen.
Looking at some of the X's and O's of this game, what are some things that Morgan State does well that you'll have to try to contain this week to get the victory?
Well, they always have good running backs. And I mean, you know, he's had a bunch in a row since I've been in this conference over 14 years. They always have somebody who's really good. And he has 2 or 3 guys that can really run. Got big receivers, 6'4", 6'6". You know, got a freshman quarterback now. He's finally settled in on a quarterback who's also a 6'4" kid who throws the ball well, and they've won 3 or 4 games with him at quarterback. So there's some momentum right there. Defensively, they've been very solid. Again, playing what they've always played with the 40 front and aggressive back there, and of course, and veteran coaches on that side, you know, of the football too. It's been with them for quite a while, so we know it's going to be difficult.
All right, Coach. Well, before we sign off, do you have any closing remarks?
Well, yeah, I do want to say hi to Dick and Bob, and hopefully I'll see them in a few weeks. Some good friends of mine down in Florida. I want to go down there and do a little recruiting. Lunch is on them.
All right, Coach. Well, we wish you good luck this Saturday. Clinched at least a share of the first MEAC championship in Norfolk State history, so we congratulate you on that and wish you good luck this Saturday as you try to get that first outright MEAC crown in school history. And we certainly hope that Spartan Nation can get up to Baltimore, Maryland to catch the game. Again, it's 1 o'clock this Saturday at Hughes Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. There are a limited number of general admission tickets available at Norfolk State at the NSU Ticket Center through this Thursday, so we encourage you to take advantage of that. For more information, visit NSUSpartans.com or call the Morgan State University ticket office. And as always, the game is available on the NSU Sports Network. And we look forward to talking to you again soon on the NSUSpartans.com weekly football coaches show.